I'm Sandra, as you may know, from MTI. I'm a patient care coordinator, and I'm here today with Maren and Sergio, her father, Esnard. They came here since Maren she already got the treatment for her CRPS on her arms in this case. They've been waiting to come here for about 2 years now, and we've of course kept the spot for them and waited for them to come, and it's been an odyssey basically. It's taken so long, mainly because of COVID and other issues, but they're here finally. And we are on the last day. We went to Venice today for some sightseeing. Maren already got her treatment, all the 4 infusions. Do you want to tell us a bit how the week went, how you found the infusions, the nurse?
Sure, yeah. The week went really well, a lot better than what I had anticipated. It was not just a clinical experience, but you get an overall experience. You really do get the feel of Italy, the culture. The staff is absolutely amazing. They have been phenomenal, whether it's been Sandra that we've been working with, or Ivana, or even our nurse Benedetta, probably people that I'll stay in contact with the rest of my life. So it's definitely not traditional US medicine that I've been typically used to. It's more of a holistic approach where they're taking a look at the overall body and how CRPS impacts the overall body rather than just focusing specifically on my arms.
Exactly, yeah. How have you been feeling after the infusion? Did you get any side effects or something you should know about?
Yeah, so I mean, I read about that prior to coming, but I did not have, me specifically, any side effects. Maybe a bit of a headache, but other than that, I didn't have any flu-like symptoms or anything of that nature.
That's good, that's good. What do you think about the hotel and the clinic in general? Do you think they were well structured, well scheduled?
Yeah, I mean, I think very well structured, very well scheduled. They give you a timetable, a schedule at the very beginning. Everybody was very conscientious of that. You had some downtime, but you also had enough going on that it kept you distracted from perhaps, how I'm closed off to the world and more isolated on a day-to-day basis. So it was, I think, an overall good setup of how it was done, and I would definitely recommend the experience to other people for sure.
Thank you. What do you think was your favorite memory from this week? I know it's flew by, but
it did fly by. I think one of the specific things as far as from a medical standpoint or a treatment standpoint was there was a particular a doctor who helped us, and he was involved more with what he called manual manipulation, and so it was focusing more on trigger points of the body, and not just in the arms, but in the neck where all of the nerves connect, and up in the clavicle area of the body, and how he talked about just the overall wellness and the follow-up afterwards of not only the physical therapy, but finding somebody of that nature and that capacity. I think that's really what stood out to me, because it's very different in the US. You don't have a doctor or a therapist, the physical therapist that's going to spend that kind of time or use that trigger point type of therapy on you. So from, I guess, the medicinal standpoint, that stood out to me. And then just learning more about how Neridronate works, and it happens over time. It's not just an overnight process. So that was very interesting as well. But I would say, that stood out medically. And then on the other side, I mean, just from tourist side of things. We went to Padua one day, which was awesome. Saw some really amazing architecture and culture, and then went to Venice today, and that's, I mean, a once in a lifetime experience. So
You have to come back. I already
Yes.
told you. Yeah. Mr. Esnard, I wanted to ask you a bit. What did you think about MTI in general?
Pretty amazing. They approached CRPS in a from a holistic point of view, not just treating the symptoms, but the overall aspects of it. The staff was exceptional. The nurse was excellent. Everybody was super. Ivana was our coordinator, and she answered each and every question I had for her. She helped to set up and coordinate the scheduling of the flights and the trip and all the logistics involved. Like I said, we were going to come here 2 years ago when COVID hit really hard, and of course everything was shut down for basically 2 years. So we came back and we did it. My daughter's had CRPS for 3.5 years, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that they had done in the States to help or alleviate any of her pain. And she has tried just about every approach, every therapy, ganglion, nerve blocks, and all this. They did like 8 of them. 8. First one didn't work. Second one didn't work. Why keep doing that? Well, it's rather obvious. I'll let you figure that one out for yourselves. So we're hoping and praying that the Neridronate infusions, there was 4 of them, 4 different days. They take a little over 2 hours. It's a drip, intravenous, to get in the body. And takes, we've been told, anywhere from 2 to 6 months for any effects to start showing up. So we're hoping and praying that it does take. I would obviously recommend it strongly to anybody that can afford it, basically. It's not a very cheap process, but again, there's no free lunch. Sandra, young lady here with me, she was pretty much our guide, took us around everywhere. She's a phenomenal lady, truly exceptional, just like Ivana. And I don't think you can go wrong. I would not wish this upon anybody. Maren is my only child. She's 34 years old. I've always been able to help her my whole life. As a father, you do whatever you have to.
Yeah.
And this is something, this horrible disease from hell, there's no cure for. Hopefully this will alleviate her pain and suffering.
Well, thank you so much for your words and for answering my questions. And we'll stay in touch, of course, and we'll let you know how Maren is feeling. We'll keep you updated, and she will as well. So yeah, fingers crossed that it all goes well. And yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.